I'll tell you how I'm feeling right now. Some of you saw the movie, I'm sure all of you saw the movie Malcolm X. Remember the scene standing out at the hospital when one of the brothers of Islam had been taken into the hospital and Denzel playing Malcolm was standing there, and the Fruit of Islam all came down to the hospital and lined up, and the police were on the other side saying they had to disperse. And Denzel, as Malcolm, was sitting there listening to him, and finally said, after he knew that the brother in the hospital was well taken care of, took his finger in the air and did like this, and the Fruit of Islam pivoted like a military troop and marched away. Do you remember what the white police officer said at that time? No black man should have that kind of power. Dr. Mack, you got that kind of power. But I tell you, when I was talking to the doctor at a speech he gave over at, that I gave over at the August Wilson Center, he told me, you know what, I may be in charge, but I report to somebody. So I'm thinking he's reporting to some 60-year-old executive or board group. He said, no, I support, if you see this young man, understand that he told me to get on a plane and go to China to do something. I'm on a plane from Pittsburgh to China tonight. I said, who is it? He says, a young man named Calvin Phillips. So you guys have created something. I'm not used to businesses where young guys run old guys. But it seems to be working. And I want to say I'm delighted to be a part of it. And Calvin, if you can let us stay a little while longer, I appreciate it. I also want to thank Dr. Michael McQuaid from United Technologies. I appreciate the fact that you are a leading supporter of NSBE and the fact that you are at the vanguard of taking this best and brightest talent we've seen assembled here and bringing them into the economic mainstream of this country, which will make this country without question innovative, competitive, and a world leader in technology and science. So I appreciate that. And the next time I get a chance to sit down and talk to Jamie Gorelick, who's on the board, and the former president of Howard University, who's a board member as well, Pat Swagger, I will tell them how much leadership you're bringing to help NSBE be what they really are. So I appreciate that opportunity. I also want to say to you that I'm honored to be here and to have the opportunity to talk to you. When I was coming over here, the producers sort of were rushing me in and saying, we're running overtime. I mean, we're running early. And I said to myself, wait a minute, you guys are going early? And I was thinking CP time. Then I realized, you guys are engineers. Y'all run on time because y'all make things happen on time. So I'm delighted to be here as a business person that understands what you do to make things happen, to make things better, to create value in the products and the technologies you design to help people lead a better life. And I applaud you for that and the future that you're going to bring as you move either out of college into the world of work. I'm here tonight to talk about two things. One is what I call the open door of opportunity that should be made available to every minority American in this country. And as I said, you guys are the vanguard of that because the world economy, the global economy, needs you now more than ever. And when I got started, the opportunity that I had came from a gentleman by the name of John Malone, who was president of a cable company. And cable was a technology that changed and revolutionized the distribution of media from over-the-air broadcast signals to coaxial cable linked to satellite technology. And I remember going to this guy, John Malone, and he asked me, I said, I want to start this company called BET. He said, how much does it take to start it, Bob? I said, it's going to take me $500,000 to launch BET. This This is back in 1980. We were going on the air for about 2 hours on Friday and Saturday night. He said, $500,000. He said, Bob, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. This all took about 30 minutes. He said, Bob, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to buy 20% of your company for $180,000, and I'm going to loan you $320. 180 of equity, $320 of debt. That's your $500,000. And he said, and you will be 80% of the company, and I'll be 20. And he said, Bob, is that a deal? I said, John, that's a deal. What John Malone didn't know, if he had reversed the numbers and said, I'll be 80 and Bob, you'll be 20, I would have said, John, that's a deal. He never said that, and he gave me the opportunity to grow BET. He never sold a share of stock in the 20 years of the BET. He served as chairman of the board and on the board. And whenever BET needed to get access to more cable operators to carry BET, the cable operators asked me, say, Bob, who's in your deal? And I would say, John Malone. You could almost hear the vote of confidence that I was getting because I had the support and mentorship and leadership of John Malone. And by the way, Dr. Malone is a trained physicist and one of the smartest guys I know. But that support was critical to the launch of BET. He stayed on the board of BET for 20 years, never sold a share. And in 2001, when I sold BET to Viacom, keep in mind we go back, John Malone's $120,000 was equity. His $380 was debt, so over time the debt got paid back, of course. When I sold BET to Viacom for approximately $3 billion, John Malone's 180 netted him $720 million of Viacom stock. And it was because he had confidence in me that I was able to achieve what I did. And one time I asked John, I said, John, why did you because BET didn't make money the first 5 years, it continued to need financing to break even. He always put it in as debt, never as additional equity. And I said, John, why didn't you take additional equity in BET when we needed capital? He said, Bob, I always knew you'd work harder for yourself than you would for me. And it was that kind of commitment of somebody standing with me that inspired me to believe three things. That with a vision, with opportunity, and strategic support, there's absolutely nothing that we can't accomplish. And when I had a chance to play the role of John Malone with a young African American by the name of Tom Baltimore, I did. Here's the story. I'm serving on the board of directors of Hilton Hotels. And the CEO of Hilton, a gentleman by the name of Steve Bolenbach, comes to me and says, Bob, we got 6 hotels that are not core to Hilton's business. Would you like to buy? And I said, sure, I'd love to buy it, but I don't have anybody to do the asset management of the real estate. Hilton, of course, was going to run the hotel rooms, but somebody had to watch the operator, the manager of the hotel. He introduced me to a young man named Tom Baltimore, who was a senior VP at Hilton. Tom Baltimore